right, so I am obviously out for my morning exercise. We are in a new town. Actually, we're in a whole new different state. We made it to Indiana. We are currently at a campground in a state park called Charlestown State Park in the town of Charleston, Indiana. It is southern Indiana because we are technically 13 miles north of Louisville, Kentucky. Just outside just across the state line in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, if you guys have been following along in our channel, following along in our journey, you know that I'm particularly fond of state parks. I mean, they are my favorites for a couple of reasons. Not to take away from the private parks. I don't have a problem with the private parks. But the state parks I'm particularly fond of because you're a little bit closer to nature, a little green, a lot more green as you see behind me. A little quiet, less traffic. Most state parks are just a little outside the main town. And more specifically, I like state parks because they're usually a little cheaper than your traditional private parks. This particular park is about, well, for us, was $34 a night. Now that's a little bit expensive when you start considering it's a state park. However, this state park, now I love state parks, but I love them even more when they have full hookup sites like this one. This one has 130 electric and water sites, and they have 60 full hookup sites, which is the one that we got today. Now, obviously, aside from the full hookup sites, this park has its dump station on the way out. So, even if you're staying in an electric and water site alone, you could still dump on the way out. Not a problem. Included. We could have very well have used an electric and water site only and saved $4. But if they have it available, why not take advantage of it? Now, as far as amenities go, the only thing you've got here is the comfort stations, the bathhouses. Haven't walked in there yet. Can't really tell you much about them. If I do walk in, I'll share it with you. But what you do have is you have boat ramps so that you can launch your boat, if you have one, out into the Ohio River. And you have a gift shop. You have a gift shop within the state park that is pretty cool. It's pretty cool if you want to pick up some souvenirs. Here's something you don't see every day. I mean, usually tent camping, people consider roughing it. This guy's got it going on. There is one thing I left out. Aside from the gift shop and the comfort stations, this state park, as does just about every other state park we visited, has a amount of trails, hiking trails. I want to say five or six. I'm not sure. I'll check on that. The only thing is, we will not be doing any of the trails on this particular leg of our trip. And the reason for that is there are signs all over that say that there's a tick problem, a tick infestation problem. So that's a bummer. But you know what? You always have that concern anywhere, but here they're actually telling you about it. So if they're telling you about it, I'm going to heed the warning. We're not getting anywhere near it. We'll save our hikes for the next park. Good morning, guys. It is another day here. We are still in Charleston, Indiana. And as I mentioned in one of the earlier segments, we are only 13 miles away from Louisville, Kentucky. Now, when you're in Louisville, Kentucky, there's a lot of things to do. Most of them are horse related, Kentucky Derby related, stuff like that. Myrna and I are really not real big horse racing fans. But there is another thing that you could do here in Louisville, which is the Slugger, the Louisville Slugger Museum. We're going to take a drive down there and see if we can catch a tour. And I'll share a little bit of it with you guys. All right, so that was a good time in Louisville. We had a good time. That was my first time ever being to Louisville. We've passed by it a couple times or through it, but that was the first time that I actually did something there and visited something. Now, like I mentioned, Louisville, big horse place, you know, the Kentucky Derby and all that stuff. But I'm more of a baseball fan, so I hope you guys enjoyed what I brought you guys from the Louisville Slugger Factory Museum. But just like that, okay, almost at a snap of the finger, not only are we at a different day, we are in a different town. We packed up this morning and we headed out. We're in Elkhart, Indiana at the Elkhart 4-H Fairgrounds. We're staying here for 2 nights, and then on Monday morning, we're taking the coach into Affinity Group. I know I've mentioned that to you guys in the past. We're taking it to Affinity Group to get some warranty repair done on it. And there are some changes to our schedule, but I'll fill you guys in on that. But here's our campsite, or here's our campground. We darn near have the entire fairgrounds to ourselves. Now it's nice, it's wide open. The only problem is that as people drive by in golf carts and stuff, it gets a little dusty. But hey, it was fairly inexpensive. I want to say I paid $36, and for a fairground, it actually has full hookups. Not a bad sight. Not a bad sight. I mean, at least we got grass. But that's it. We're in Goshen, Indiana, or actually we're in Elkhart, Indiana. Affinity Group is about 8 miles down the road. And we're going to do a couple things while we're here. We might throw in a couple of factory tours. Not necessarily Keystone, because I don't believe that they're open this week. Something's going on there. They got something going on, but they're not open. But maybe we'll get a tour of a different place. So welcome back, guys. Welcome back to another segment of our leg here in Goshen, Indiana. I think we're on episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. Season 3, episode 6. But welcome back. As I mentioned to you guys earlier this week, we were going to try and catch a few or one or two of the factory tours. Unfortunately, and I'm not quite sure what's going on with Keystone, Montana. There's probably going to be a little bit more information on that soon. But we tried to do a tour with Keystone, specifically the Montana line. They're closed. They're closed for tours this week. So we picked another tour that was available with Brinkley. Brinkley is a brand new company out on the market. We're going to go check them out. And depending upon how strict they are on videos or pictures, I'll share a little bit of that with you guys. All right, so we made it to the Brinkley plant. I did read on the website, no photography and no video. So I find that kind of interesting. I kind of expected it, but I find it interesting because most of these things, all the components are from the same companies and they're just repetitive. So maybe there's something proprietary about how they put theirs together. I'll let you guys know. So what's up, guys? We are obviously back at the hotel. Got back here just in time for a little bit of weather. We have a weather system coming through. It's raining right now, and it's kind of cold too. It's kind of cold. It's in the 50s. But I wanted to give you guys a recap on today. So today, as I told you guys and showed you, we went to the Brinkley RV Company. We went for a tour of their factory. Now, Brinkley, if you follow along in the RV industry world, Brinkley is a fairly new company. It is owned by five gentlemen that were in the RV industry for a very, very long time. I think 2 of them came from Grand Design, 2 of them came from Keystone, and one of them has just been in the industry for a very, very long time. And they put together this company, Brinkley. And what I want to tell you about Brinkley is, from the start, first impressions, it is a very interesting looking unit. They don't have many models. I think they have 3 models, and they're working on a prototype right now, which we got to see, which obviously they didn't let me take pictures of. And although I mentioned that they didn't take pictures and video, they did allow me to take a few pictures here and there. Certain things they were specific about that they asked me not to. But, I'll share as many of the pictures that I took with you guys. Let's get back to the unit. They have a few models which are very sleek looking. If somebody were to ask me to break down what I thought of the Brinkley and their product, break it down to one word, 1 or 2 words, I would say sleek. Sleek looking is one of the words I would use. Modern, very detail oriented. From what I saw in the plant, and I saw the way they were putting things together, very, very detail oriented. They were very clean, very sleek looking. They got a really good product coming out. They are doing it right. It's a small company, so we got to do the tour with several other couples. Some of them were Brinkley owners already. There was a gentleman who is looking to order one, But the information that I got from the Brinkley owners, their customer service is second to none, really good. So that's always a plus. That's always a plus. Like I said, it's a small company. So a lot of times when these companies get so big, they become a little bit detached with their customers. Brinkley, according to the owners that were there with us, and according to the young man that was doing the tour, Brandon, I believe his name was, according to them, they are pretty good at their customer service. They listen to the customer, and they try to implement, every time a customer has a complaint or an issue, they try to correct it and they try to fix it for the future, which is funny because there are a lot of other manufacturers, like for instance, Grand Design. When Grand Design came out, it was put together by people who had been in the industry for many years also. And, it doesn't really do you any service if you're in the industry and you don't bring with you the mistakes from the past, okay, and correct them, in whatever product that you're putting out. If you don't use your experience to correct issues that are a problem in the industry, then you're just like everybody else. Brinkley, the people that put this company together obviously have taken note of the customers' complaints, the issues, and they've done something about it. Ironically, one of the issues that we're up here right now in Goshen, Indiana, to get repaired an RV is that flex crack issue, or the flexing issue up in the front cap. It's funny because I noticed in their manufacturing, I was able to, and I'll show you a picture of it right here. The way that the way that the repair was explained to us, which is to cut along, put some gussets and fix it and then put it back together, and they're going to leave a crease. Well, Brinkley apparently has heeded the warning. They've noticed that over the years, customers have had issues with this very thing, the flexing, the cracking. The flexing of the front end of all RVs creates the possibility for stress cracks to occur, like it happened in our unit. Well, the repair that they're doing in Montana, Brinkley has already taken that into account, and their units already come with that stress crack prevention seam up at the front, and kudos to them. Kudos to them for thinking ahead, for looking forward, having vision, so that they don't have these issues with their units. But that's it. Brinkley, I'd say it's a good product. I mean, I'm gonna pay close attention to them to see where their company goes moving forward. Like I said, they only got 3 models right now. They're kind of small. I think their biggest one is a 34-footer. So it's a nice company. That's all I got to say about that. It's a nice company. They got a lot of good, innovative things moving forward. So I'm going to keep an eye on them. Good morning, guys. It is another day here in Indiana and another segment to our season 3, episode 6 video. There is so much content that I can make this video literally an hour and a half, which would probably bore the heck out of you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick today to go ahead and end this video, and I figure no better way to end a video than meeting up with some friends. I mean, you guys know that Myrna and I love hiking and we love going to new places, but equal to those things that we love, we also love meeting people. And today we are going to meet up with Kenny and Judy. We met them during season number 2 in the Upper Peninsula up at Sault Ste. Marie. And we've become friends and we've stayed in touch. They live in Michigan and they're going to make the 2-hour drive down to meet us today for lunch. I mean, good people, love their company, love to hang out with them. So I figure there's no better way, no more fitting way than to end this video having lunch with them. But that's it. I will tell you this though, there's a lot more to come from Elkhart, Goshen, It's footage that's gonna be coming real soon here, right after this. But for now, this is gonna be the end of this video. Stay tuned. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit that little bell, that notification bell, so that you can get alerted every time I put up a video. And we will catch you at the next one.